For many of you, this is the first time you've had to work from your home. For others, you may have worked remotely for some time, either partially or fully, but are struggling to find connection and cohesiveness with your teammates. So how can you find ways to build up and strengthen your team to be extraordinary? In this lesson, we're sharing a few painted porch strategies to help you fortify, focus, and foster your team. Strategy number 1 starts with developing a rallying cry. In Sierra's Radical Mindfulness lesson, Remote Work and the Family Dynamic, she talks about kicking off your new normal at home with a pep rally and maybe a secret handshake. A pep rally is just as important for your team and work family as well. However, this pep rally is not meant to be a one-time kickoff activity. To keep your team focused on what is most important right now, it's essential to establish your own rallying cry, which you then exclaim every day. Patrick Lencioni refers to this as a thematic goal. This goal is meant to be a way to provide clear direction for your team or organization for a short, fixed period of time. This is not your company's overarching mission or vision. This is the battle you are in right now. And when I say battle, I don't necessarily mean to imply a fight or a struggle. It's simply what your team or organization's short-term marching orders and focus are over the next several weeks to help provide clarity in direction, priority, and key focus areas. Now, this is not a for the win slogan or aspirational stay strong hashtag. Your rallying cry is meant to be a specific, clear, and qualitative call to action derived from about 4 to 6 defining objectives. For those completing our free mini course preview, I've included instructions down here on how to design your own rallying cry with your team. If you've purchased the full Extraordinary Teams course, you can refer to the specific rallying cry lesson for more details on how to craft your own, as well as some further examples. The most important thing to remember with this rallying cry is that it's temporary. It's qualitative. It's realistic. It focuses on effort and activities within your control versus external factors like revenue or retention goals. You can influence, not control, the purchasing decisions of others. Keep that in mind. And number 5, it's brief and easy to memorize and recall. It's a chant, not a chapter. Which brings us to our painted porch strategy number 2 for fortifying team cohesion. Meet regularly, regardless of whether it's during a pandemic or simply a regular project or work schedule. It's vital that as a team, you do meet regularly. The Stoics practice both a morning routine and a nightly reflection, believing that doing so can keep you focused on what is most important in your life, how you serve your fellow man, and how to continually identify opportunities to improve who you are and what you do. Having a morning check-in and an evening checkout with yourself and your team ensures you stay aware and on top of priorities, progress, obstacles, and opportunities. The morning routine is meant to provide clarity about what you intend to accomplish and prepare you for what obstacles you may encounter along the way. Before you start filling in those time slots with meetings and other activities, reflect on what lies ahead for the day and what you wish to focus on, both with the work you do and the person you show up as. This includes asking, what is the most important activity I must complete today? What must I focus on? Why is it important? And what will happen if I do or don't complete it? How will I feel once I know it's accomplished? What do I need to do or not do in order to make it happen? What could interfere? This may involve asking for help from a team member, mindfully avoiding unnecessary distractions or less important tasks, contemplating what obstacles you may encounter. This also provides a bit of pre-planning for what may derail you so you're prepared for and able to effectively respond. This is akin to what the Stoics refer to as premeditatio malorum. It's an intentional visualization of what could go wrong so as not to be taken by surprise and thrown off course. And lastly, who do I want to be today? How do I want to show up? If you're completing our free mini course preview, I've included a reference guide and action plan for conducting a morning routine below. If you've purchased the full Extraordinary Teams course, you can refer to the morning routine lesson for more details and tips on this practice. After you complete this daily game plan for yourself, you should meet with your team and review each other's, focusing on identifying what is most important and why for each of you. Through this exercise, you can then better understand one another's priorities for the day. Once everyone is on the same page about team member focus and intention, it can result in mindfully measuring your request for aid against the priorities and focus of your colleagues. Basically, is it worth interrupting or possibly derailing their MIT, or most important task? For example, is setting a meeting to complete next week's TPS report a higher priority than fixing that rounding error bug in the code? This morning check-in can also help in identifying if a shift in priority is necessary based on external factors, like a new rallying cry, a policy change, a client issue, and so on. However, be cautious here and not allowing any factor to create a shift. Each one should be weighed against the larger mission, rallying cry, and stated goals for your team and organization. Be discerning between what may be urgent versus important. And be willing to challenge each other if this pattern starts to become habitual. A morning check-in can also determine if and how you can offer or receive assistance to achieve an objective. And lastly, it can help eliminate or address possible distractions or obstacles for one another. In addition to starting your day with a clear plan, it's equally important to reflect on each day's accomplishments, misses, and opportunities. The evening reflection consists of asking, what did I accomplish and do well today? We so often focus on what we didn't get done that we can lose sight of everything we did today and made happen. Asking this question provides an opportunity to celebrate your effort toward meeting or achieving your stated objectives and your rallying cry, both personally and with your team. The second question is, what is left undone? This can identify where and if pivots to priorities for remaining items might be necessary. What and how can I improve tomorrow? This can provide a forum to ask for help and support one another on ways to continue to move the mission forward that can help build mutual trust, collaboration, and accountability. And lastly, what obstacle turned into an opportunity and how? Acknowledge how you were resilient and in what ways you were able to turn lemons into delicious limoncello. Just as with the AM check-in, having a variation of this as an evening checkout can help your team continue to encourage, support, and aid one another. You're all focused on the same mission. Recognizing the effort each is doing to contribute, as well as spotting obstacles that can be overcome, can ensure a united, aligned, and focused team and work. If you're completing our free mini course, I've included a reference guide and action plan for conducting an evening reflection below. If you've purchased the full Extraordinary Teams course, you can certainly use those reference materials, but you can also refer to the specific evening reflection lesson for more details, some more exercises, and tips on this practice. So to recap, after crafting a strong rallying cry and ensuring that both a morning check-in and an evening checkout is done, the last strategy is to recognize that life can appear stressful at times. Have a little fun with your team. A video call doesn't need to be all business all the time. Regardless of whether it's during a pandemic or simply the regular activities within a project or task, we need to remind ourselves of our humanity and our humor. It's important to create a balance between what must be done and recognizing the individuals who are making it happen. A few ideas that can help turn a standard meeting into one where everyone is present, attentive, and participating can include A theme for the call. This could be the craziest homework your kid has been assigned. It could be a virtual background of where you'd rather be right now.
Like the beach, the mountain, faith, engage, wherever. Has anyone tried the joy flavor?
It could include a costume. A leader I know surprises his team every day with a new character on their daily stand-up call. They never know what or who he'll show up as, and it creates a sense of fun and anticipation on what they'll see on today's call. Maybe it's a crazy hat. Maybe it's your favorite character who wants a discount. Or maybe even your Hogwarts house, representing Froma Ravenclaws out there. Consider playing a quick game. One former colleague asked a team member to share a joke of the day. It was a fun way to get to know each other's humor as well as have a little chuckle during the call, regardless of the seriousness of the topic being discussed. Here's one to get you started. If a child refuses to sleep during nap time, are they guilty of resisting arrest? And just for a bonus, one more. What does a vegetarian zombie eat? Brains. You're welcome. You could also consider doing a mini round of Jeopardy or trivia. Go around and ask each participant a trivia question. Maybe have a small reward at the end of the week for something like the most points, the most creative answer, or whatever fun category you can come up with. Most importantly, decide as a team what you'd like to recognize and reward. Another one is fact or fiction. This one's similar to trivia, but maybe a little less pressure since it's a 50-50 shot. It can create both a fun, quick interlude or bookend, as well as take a moment to learn and laugh. Here's one to start you off. True or false? Japan has square watermelons. Think you know the answer? It's true. Who knew? Now you do. Another idea for a fun call is show and tell. This harkens back to when we were all younger, to get to know each other a little bit better. Have each team member pick something from their home to share. A pet, a prized possession, an award or accomplishment, an awkward photo from your youth, a favorite or a special recipe, or whatever else you can think of. Don't overcomplicate it or stress about whether you have the right outfit, the right question, the right background, or the right item to share. It's not about winning a meeting fun contest. It's about connecting with one another and seeing each of you holistically, fully, and authentically. So to recap a few ways to build or reignite team connection when working remotely. 1, develop a rallying cry and have a pep rally every day. Maybe even include some homemade posters or pennants. 2, meet regularly, both in the morning to establish priorities and focus, as well as in the evening to celebrate accomplishments and support progress. 3, mix up your meetings with a little humor and fun through themes, games, and a little show and tell. Now, these suggestions aren't solely reserved for when all or part of your team is working remotely. You can and most likely should consider doing these anytime with any team in any environment, be it work, home, friends, church, volunteering, etc. Rally together to achieve a short-term goal. Help one another stay focused and forging toward your mission, both at work and in your duty to one another as humans. Celebrate together and find small ways to show more of your human side. As the Roman philosopher emperor Marcus Aurelius reminds himself through his daily reflections, we've been made by nature for the purpose of working with others. Let's continue to explore new ways to do this through collaboration, compassion, encouragement, and celebration. So go forth, stay connected, have fun, and remember that you're all in this together. Be an extraordinary team by being an extraordinary team member. Until next time, see you soon, friends.